Continuing from the previous episode 1960. Wang buzzing, Su Shuiying and Lei Shi's attacks were still in full swing in the huge net of thunder that enveloped the entire mountaintop. Since the black flames appeared on Su Shuiying's body, her strength and attack strength have been significantly improved, and she can rely on the stalemate between the 6-star fighting immortal and the 8-star fighting immortal. Although she has Lei Shi's water release, the holy flame of this ranking increases her power. Is obvious to all, but even so, Xiao Yan did not recognize which holy flame this was. Okay, almost there. Boy, the seal suppresses me. Quick! After about a few minutes, Lei Shi's offensive was out of control and suddenly became even more surging. Su Shuiying, who had been fighting for a while, was quickly defeated, and at the same time turned back and roared at Xiao Yan. Blood-devouring monument. Suppress me. Seeing this, Xiao Yan was still extremely puzzled, but the *** huge stone tablet, accompanied by the power of holy flame, easily suppressed Lei Shi. Let's go. Next, there are still many challenges waiting for you. After being temporarily sealed and suppressed by Xiao Yan, the irresistible order in Lei Shi's body also became quiet. Lei Shi's face was calm, as if he did it on purpose. Thank you for your guidance, Senior. At this time, Su Shuiying respectfully clasped her fists and thanked Lei Shi. There was a rare look of respect in her voice. Obviously, the attack of the two just now was a confrontation on the surface, but it was actually Lei Shi. As for the reason for Su Shuiying's advice, I am afraid they both know. And it is precisely because of Lei Shi's careful on-demand broadcast, coupled with Su Shuiying's intelligence, that there will be another adventure in the future. Go! Let's go! Lei Shi waved his hand and seemed quite satisfied. Su Shuiying nodded heavily, and immediately broke through the giant thunder net and went directly to the top of the mountain. Senior, what exactly is this strange resurrection of yours? Xiao Yan's expression was solemn. It was obvious that Lei Shi was in a very strange state now, and Xiao Yan couldn't help but ask. Do not know. I am really like a resurrection now, with my own thoughts and powers, but there is an irresistible order in the depths of my body directing me. My thoughts are uncontrollable, but my internal strength and body movements are irresistible. Lei the Lion muttered. Zhu! Xiao Yan was still confused when he heard the words, and after a while he could only follow Su Shuiying away. It seems that this time, in the Soul Palace, there are some amazing guys who can actually master this pseudo-resurrection technique that is enough to challenge the kingdom of angels. Lei Shi looked at the figures of the two leaving with a gentle face. There was a rather mysterious arc on it. At the same time, in the distant sky and the top of the mountain range, the aftermath of the battle erupted with incomparably powerful coercion like mountains colliding, making this mountain range in jeopardy. This is the residence of the guardians of the Shao clan, and at the top of dozens of continuous mountains, there is an extremely white jade staircase. Going up the stairs, at the top, is the so-called Mother Palace. And here, the strongest in strength and prestige among the guardians live, and even the things they guard are most likely here. At this moment, on the way to the mother-in-law's hall, Xu Shao's figure appeared here again. He was quite strange, wearing a black robe, and looking at the top of the jade stairs with greedy eyes, sneered. Behind Xu Shao, 4 dark red mysterious coffins slowly suspended, revealing endless evil power. At this time, the second one has been opened. At that time, there will be 2 old figures in front of them. Their faces are ashen, but the power in their bodies it was abruptly reached the level of the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortals. Who are you? How dare you break into the mother's palace? Can't you find death? Looking at the formation of 3 people and 4 coffins in front of them, 10 sparse figures emerged from all directions, surrounding them in groups with extremely vigilant eyes. Most of these guys' strengths ranged from 4-star fighting immortals to 6-star fighting immortals, but there were chains on their bodies that locked their ankles, making it extremely inconvenient to move, but they were obviously part of the guardians. Just some ants. Kill them all for me. Xu Shao snorted coldly when he saw this. Wait a minute, these guys are the guardians of the Shao clan. I can't. Kacha kacha. Xu Shao's voice just fell. One of the 2 old men, while speaking, the power in the body broke out uncontrollably, and instantly several people were crushed and turned into blood. Their flesh and blood were blurred, which was quite scary. You're a descendant of the Soul Palace. It's really too much. Seeing these people fall into his hands in an instant, the 2 old men looked at each other, Their expressions were serious and hot, and the old man couldn't help but say with his serious eyes, "Today, these guardians will be wiped out. The culprits are the elders of the ancient races. If the allies of the Shao family come to open the door in the future, I'm afraid." Ha ha ha. Xu Xiao's face showed a rare touch. Contempt, obviously for him. Even if these guardians are dead and wounded, as long as they get that thing guarded by the guardians, then everything is worth it. What the asterisk is going on with this sorcery? Seeing Xu Xiao's fearlessness, the two old men couldn't help but wonder. They are dead people, and the situation is exactly the same as Lei Shi. The two were originally one of the elders of the 7 ancient races of the Yan clan. Now they are not afraid of resurrection, but they are afraid because today, once the matter spreads out, those Shao clan allies who are hidden in the dark will probably bring endless harm to their Yan clan. After all, although the Shao clan is also one of the 8 ancient races, it is a giant that surpasses the entire Great Thousand World. It is by no means comparable to the 7 ancient races. Stop for me, this road won't work. The blood ran down the jade stairs, turning the air here bloody, and in the blink of an eye, a sly-faced middle-aged man, dressed in blue clothes, with a serious breath, was silent. Appeared here. When he saw the asterisk blood on the jade stairs in front of his eyes, the surging killing intent swept out of his body. The number of guardians of the Shao clan was very small, but now 10 people were beheaded by these people of unknown origin, and they were the backbone of the guardians, which made the middle-aged man extremely angry. 8-star fighting immortals? The strength of the guardians is already less than 1/10. Today, let me, the younger generation of the Soul Palace, send you to *** to reunite with the Shao clan. Yanling, kill me, Xu Xiao said with a sneer, obviously since he collected the power from the 2 demon suppression prisons and returned to the clan to cultivate that sorcery, his strength and status have long since changed. Boom! As soon as the voice fell, the old man of Yanling collapsed forward, and the jade stairs unexpectedly made a shattering sound. "Let's go!" Xu Xiao shouted coldly. His voice contained the power of blood and blood. The coffin that belonged to Yanling was also left behind, and he took the rest of the Yan clan to look at the 3 coffins and take a step forward. Step towards the main mother hall at the top of the mountain. At this moment, the guardians of the Shao clan are probably about to usher in a real life and death battle. Please remember this book's first domain name. Tang San Chinese website mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 1961. Is it possible for a person like you to step into the mother's hall? Get off me. At this moment, an extremely terrifying Douqi on the middle-aged man suddenly turned into a ferocious lion, surrounded by countless flames, and roared directly towards the moving Xu Xiao. Terrifying Douqi energy. It turned out that the surrounding void trembled slightly, countless hot winds shook, and even the void became distorted. I can't think of myself. Xu Xiao didn't turn his head. He went straight to the top of the mountain, and said coldly, not to mention that he is also the power of the 8-star fighting immortal early stage, just these guys behind him are not happy in the face of reincarnation. Fear, a mere 8-star fighting immortal in the early stage, can't get into Xu Xiao's eyes at all. With a sound, the middle-aged man's terrifying attack was easily taken over by the old man beside Xu Xiao. After a while, he squeezed his hands, and the lion shadow of terrifying energy that seemed extremely vicious was instantly shattered and annihilated. Your opponent, it's me. Seeing this guy so strange, Yanling stepped forward in the distance, sealing all the backwardness of the middle-aged man. The flame-fighting chi swept out and slowly wrapped around his body, the kind of fierce oppression, but it was heart-pounding. Damn it. Seeing this, the middle-aged man frowned, and the power in his body became surging immediately. Oh, it's actually Mo Zi, who is quite famous among the guardians. The power of the 8-star Douxian early stage is enough to become my opponent. Take it! Looking at the surging power on the middle-aged man, Yanling seemed to recognizing the latter. The voice was filled with an extremely terrifying fiery. Not long after, a red blade surrounded by flames appeared on the old man's body, embellishing the entire staircase. The extreme hot breath was suffocating. The sword is coming. Mo Zi heard the words, his expression was solemn, and he whistled loudly. If Yanling was not subdued in time, I am afraid that Mistress's purification will be disturbed, and as the guardians of the mountains, they will also be subject to the Lord's Mother's punishment. However, among the 8 ancient clans, the Yan clan, the Lei clan, the Stone clan and the Spirit clan were once suppressed by the Shao clan, and many of them were oppressed by the great power of the Shao clan. As well as the guardians of the Shao clan, they are very angry. Originally, they would have some scruples because of their strange resurrection, but seeing these guardians in front of them, the anger in their hearts became even hotter. At this moment, they don't care why they are resurrected, as long as they can defeat Shao as a guardian of the clan. Shame is the most important thing, so for the Shao clan and its guardians, there is an inexplicable thirst for war. For a time, the terrifying attacks of Mo Zi and Yan Ling swept across, and the fight was indistinguishable for a while. Boom! Just as Xu Shao was moving, 7 huge amber beams roared directly at him, with a mighty momentum that turned the entire sky into a fiery red glow. Extraordinary. Yan Li. Seeing this, Xu Shao couldn't help but said to the only old man beside him. Yan clan elder, Yan Lai, the midterm strength of the 8-star fighting immortal. Wang Om. Yan Lai, who was beside him, hurriedly used a flame barrier to take over the attack of unknown origin, but the amber flame turned out to make him feel an extremely violent unease in his body. Xu Shao, are you running in such a hurry? The attack had just been resisted, and suddenly a cold shout emerged from the foot of the mountain below, and then an amber flame swept across the entire world, causing the world to tremble slightly. Xiao Yan, little bastard! Hearing this extremely familiar voice, Xu Shao looked behind him, and when he saw Xiao Yan's figure, his voice became very strange and he couldn't help but madly said. Xiao Yan has appeared on the list of their soul palace many times, but this guy has a lot of tricks and good luck. He escaped the pursuit of Soul Palace several times. Xu Shao is not a fool, he doesn't think he has the ability to catch him. The power to capture Xiao Yan, and his purpose is not Xiao Yan, but because of Xiao Yan's mystery, Xu Shao is also quite worried that Xiao Yan will destroy his plan. No, this time the plan is almost crucial, and Xiao Yan must not be allowed to destroy my good deeds. Yanli, stop him for me, let's go. Immediately, Xu Shao's expression changed, and he controlled the 2 dark red coffins behind him. His speed skyrocketed, and he went directly to the top of the mountain. This guy. Xiao Yan glanced slightly and found that his way was blocked, but the 2 coffins behind Xu Shao at this time were obviously more powerful than the previous Lei Shi or the current second elder of the Yan clan. At first glance, in addition to the induction of Xiao Yan's soul power, the 2 extremely mysterious dark red coffins exude a very strange aura, which makes Xiao Yan unpredictable. The icy power of the 10,000 years of Frostland eroded people's hearts, and even Xiao Yan's soul trembled slightly. Lying in these 2 coffins, I am afraid that the lowest strength is also the perfection level of the 8-star fighting immortal. It may even be stronger than the 2. I can stop the 2 of them, but... Xiao Yan whispered to Su Shuiying behind him, although Su Shuiying's strength is low, but there are 2 holy flames in her body, and Xiao Yan, I vaguely feel that this girl has a mysterious power that even she can't see through. Thank you. At this moment, Su Shuiying was not as arrogant as before, with a touch of touch in her beautiful eyes, and said to Xiao Yan. Cher, who is this? Mo Zi, who was beside him, took advantage of the gap between the attacks and looked at how close Xiao Yan and Su Shuiying were now, and hesitantly asked. Su Shuiying is the strongest among their guardians, and she is arrogant and arrogant. In the past, no man has ever approached. This is my friend. Uncle Mo, I'll trouble you here. Su Shuiying's light voice just fell, and she jumped, directly stepping on the white jade stairs, chasing Xu Shao towards the top of the mountain. In the mistress hall, the mistress has been in retreat. If they are disturbed by this guy, I am afraid that they will all suffer from the anger of the mistress, because the mistress's mood is hot and cold, which makes people unpredictable. Send away, can you rest assured to fight now? Seeing Xiao Yan sending Su Shuiying away, a frenzy appeared on the corner of Yanli's mouth in front of him, and he immediately said solemnly. It seems that you are very confident in your own strength. Xiao Yan had long noticed the conceit of the 2 Yan clan elders in front of him, but in the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortals, he was still unable to form a real resistance to Xiao Yan. Go ahead. Being able to kill the descendants of the Shao clan is a shame. Yan Lai naturally didn't care about other things. His body, his strength, spewed out like a spring in an instant, and immediately enveloped him and Xiao Yan completely. That is the power of the enchantment, and seeing the smile on the corner of Yan Lai's mouth is extremely sinister, It looks like he wants to completely kill Xiao Yan here, in order to vent the shame of being defeated by the Xiao clan in the past. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Please remember this book's first domain name. Tang San Chinese website, mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 1962. Crash. The scorching flames enveloped Xiao Yan's body. He only felt that his eyes were dark, and they both entered a special area at the same time. This is the old man's field barrier, called Desolate Flame. To obliterate you, it is enough to value you. In the enchantment domain, Xiao Yan was perfectly isolated from the outside world. Xiao Yan frowned, but Yan Lai said arrogantly, even the scorching flames around his body kept squirming, quite like a strong man. There's a lot of nonsense. There are so many people who want to kill me. I'm afraid you're not qualified. Pick me a seal. Xiao Yan didn't care about this. An amber flame flickered in his icy eyes, and then his palms suddenly changed with countless mysterious patterns, and the majestic fighting spirit in the middle stage of the 7-star fighting immortals in the body was unreservedly vented. Even Xiao Yan's body turned yellow because of such a move. That is the power of immortality and immortality. With the passage of time and Xiao Yan's perception, the immortal and immortal power in Xiao Yan's body has also become more and more stable, and over time, it is enough to achieve the real immortality and immortality of the Demon Emperor. The seal of the Heavenly King. An extremely cold snort swept out, and Xiao Yan's arm suddenly changed with countless hidden handprints. Shoot away at the flames. Boom! The seemingly innocuous palm print pierced through the void and slammed into Yan Lai with overwhelming force. That kind of oppression and strength alone was enough to rival a true 7-star Douxian perfectionist. Hand of Desolate Flames. Yan Lai sneered, his pale big hand waved straight, and suddenly countless flames poured out from the field, and finally quickly converged and merged on Yan Lai's old palm, a scorching hot palm, with a speed like lightning. It directly collided with Xiao Yan's Heavenly King seal. Crash! Xiao Yan tried his best to seal, and his terrifying palm just touched. In this desolate flame field, scorching hot flame ripples spread out. The weak cracks also emerged, and it was obvious that the enchantment field also trembled a little because of this. This descendant of the Xiao clan, his ability is really not to be underestimated. Between the attacks, Yan Lai muttered as he watched Xiao Yan's attack even stalemate with himself. This old guy has the power of the 8-star fighting immortal middle stage, and has an immortal body similar to that of a thunder lion. Even if he uses the Buddha's wrath of samsara, he can't do anything. I can only try to temporarily suppress it with the fire of holy flame. Xiao Yan's figure, as soon as it moved, the amber flame in the body and the ancient ruler spread out together, and a terrifying power that moved the entire enchantment field slowly flowed out from the thin body. Desolate flames. The aftermath of the attack had just dissipated, and the fiery and loud voice was as deafening as thunder. Hey! As Yan Lai's shout fell, the flames from the enchantment field actually formed a red shawl on his body. There is a red flame flowing slowly in the red shawl, and the flame above is exactly the same as the breath in the field. Look at the fist. Seeing Xiao Yan's body slowly settling in the air, Yan Lai was also an old man. His figure was wriggling, and he roared away at Xiao Yan with an extremely sharp attack. Naturally, he would not give Xiao Yan anything. Opportunity to display high-level fighting skills. Peeved. This Yan Li has such a vigilant sense of smell. Xiao Yan couldn't help muttering to himself in midair. His body moved quickly, his toes were on the ground of the domain, and he was floating in the air with the help of his strength, but being attacked by Yan Li like this, it was a short time. Xiao Yan actually did not have any strength to fight back. There is a huge gap between the middle stage of the 7-star Douxian and the middle stage of the 8-star Douxian, whether it is physical strength or strength of fighting spirit. Obviously Xiao Yan underestimated the middle stage of the 8-star Douxian this time. Of course, this does not rule out that Yan Lai is a special reason for resurrection. Come here, otherwise Xiao Yan can be directly executed. Desolate flame heavenly sword. Seeing Xiao Yan jumping up and down like this, Yan Lai sneered and folded his hands together. A fiery red energy sword shadow condensed and shot towards Xiao Yan. Soul Avatar, Xiao Lei. Seeing Yan Lai's attack, Xiao Yan smiled strangely. After the breath, the voice just fell, and a figure exactly like Xiao Yan swept out from behind Xiao Yan. Soul Avatar? Wait, something's wrong. Yan Lai frowned when he saw this. In the past, he had fought many powerful people from the Xiao clan, but no one had ever been as cunning as Xiao Yan. I'll give it to you, Xiao Yan said flatly. His body black shirt Xiao Yan's speed skyrocketed, and he went directly to the boundary of the enchantment domain. On the palm of his hand, amber flames and immortal flames poured into the ancient ruler at the same time. Go, for a while, with so many holy flames, the holy pattern on the ancient ruler was slowly ignited, and a surging aura of repression swept out. Yu Mingtian, the white-robed Xiao Lei just appeared, looking at the fiery red energy sword shadow. He snorted coldly. The surging soul power turned into a humming crisp roar, echoing the flames in the entire field, although there was no body to display terrifying, but also quite effective. Clang! With a sound, the fiery red energy sword shadow was abruptly pierced by the soul attack, and immediately whistled away at Yan Lai. Not good. Seeing the strange appearance of Xiao Lei in the white robe, Yan Lai snorted coldly, and the dazzling flames flew out, overwhelmingly blocking the soul power. Boom! Such terrifying soul power, combined with Xiao Lei's incomparably powerful fighting qi energy, turned Yan Lai into a formidable enemy. I'm fed up with this boring game. Huang, being teased so much by a mere 7-star fighting immortal mid-stage powerhouse for the second time in a row, Yan Lai seemed to be really angry. The aura in his body soared to the extreme, and icy roars swept out, accompanied by a touch of destroying strange breath. He's really moving. I know, a little bit. Okay. Xiao Yan and Xiao Lei communicated with a thought. Thunder. The body of Xiao Lei in the white robe slowly lifted into the air, and the aura in his body dissipated in an instant, as if all the power in the body was dissipated. At the same time, a gray thunder, like a newborn baby, slowly disappeared from Xiao Lei, crawled out from deep inside. The gray thunderbolt has almost no power, just like a baby, curiously coveting this new world. But because of this, when Yan Lai saw the gray thunderbolt, his pupils could not help shrinking violently, as if he saw something terrible stuff in general. Kill them for me. Yan Lai roared. Countless flames turned into countless flame creatures, with different shapes. They roared and released countless greedy auras, moving rapidly towards Xiao Lei. Blast away. No one knows the power of Huang, and once the destructing power contained in it is swallowed by it, I am afraid that even a strong 8-star fighting immortal will be seriously injured in an instant, let alone a mere 7-star fighting immortal. Zilala. When the flame creature came into contact with Xiao Lei's gray thunder, it was like an electric shock. Xiao Lei's thunder power is so terrifying, but due to the huge difference in strength between the two, I'm afraid Xiao Lei won't be able to support it for long. What if you are a descendant of the Xiao clan? This old man is a dignified elder of the Yan clan. Isn't it comparable to your mere 7-star fighting immortals? Xiao clan, this time I finally got my revenge. Go to *** for me. Seeing Xiao Lei's whole body's waning strength of thunder, Yan Lai roared grimly, as if he had seen Xiao Yan's ugly face begging before his death. Yes, the prestige of the ancestors of the Xiao family can't be compared to yours. So, suppress me here. In the name of the master of my holy flame, I will suppress the demons in all directions. When Yan Lai's fierce roar fell, in front of Xiao Lei, a thin black-shirted man stood out with a dazzling and huge ancient ruler in his hand. Countless ancient and mysterious flame patterns flickered, and a touch of the strong aura that surpassed the heavens and the earth drifted away. A cold, extremely arrogant voice completely spread through this enchantment field. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Please remember this book's first domain name. Tang San Chinese website, mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 1963. Hush! Just after Xiao Yan's extremely arrogant voice fell, the ancient ruler with as many as 5 color flames flashing on Xiao Yan's palms suddenly solidified, and threw it directly at the latter. The dazzling fire ruler, with its unparalleled suppressing power, roared away at Yan Lai. The power of the holy flame? Yan Lai's expression of victory was extremely solemn at this moment, because all the flame-fighting qi in his body was trembling at this moment, and he clearly smelled a flame above the giant ruler. An appalling, terrifying, repressive breath. Wang hum. Without waiting for Yan Lai to have any power to react, the gorgeous flame giant ruler suddenly completely froze the space where the former was located, and even the flames of different colors separated from the ruler shadow and formed immediately. A mysterious five-pointed star completely isolated Yan Li's body from the domain. For a time, the power in Yan Li's body was like a deflated balloon, rapidly weakening, and even with the prestige of the holy pattern on the ancient ruler, Yan Li's breath became disordered. I have to say that the strength you have shown now is comparable to the title of the descendants of the Shao family, but your opponent is me. Huang Yan roars. Seeing Xiao Yan's bizarre attack, Yan Li sneered coldly, a grudge swept out of his body uncontrollably. Suppress me. Xiao Yan ignored it and sneered. No matter how strong Yan Li is, he has the body of immortality, but in the face of Xiao Yangan's suppression of the ancient ruler and the prestige of Sheng Yan, he can only be defeated. After taking a good breath, Xiao Yan's vindictive qi was vented, and the five-colored five-pointed star fire array devoured the last trace of strength in Yan Li's body. When the vindictive qi in Yan Li's body was about to start to recover, accompanied by Kai Ying's energy, unexpectedly abruptly completely suppressed the flames. How could it be possible? Yan Li only felt that the power in his body was rapidly weakening, and he even lost control of the domain. Because of his immortal body, Yan Li was not afraid, but now he was suppressed by Xiao Yan. Was quite resentful for a while. I'm not interested in wasting time with you. Xiao Yan coldly threw out a sentence, with the ancient ruler on his back again, and with a wave of his hand, the enchantment domain was torn apart by him, and he walked away to the outside world. Boom! With a sound, Xiao Yan's figure instantly left here and appeared on the stairs leading to the top of the mountain. Crash! At this time, the attacks of Mo Zi and Yan Ling caused countless scorching energy ripples in the middle of the mountain. Both of them had some large and small scars on their bodies, of intractable. How is that possible? Seeing Xiao Yan appear, Yan Ling immediately hesitated and said, how could Yan Li's strength be equal to his own? How could it be possible to lose to Xiao Yan? Little brother, I will trouble you from above. Seeing that Xiao Yan's figure was unscathed, Mo Zi couldn't help but rejoice. Although I don't know the exact strength of this guy, but being able to subdue Yan Li in the middle stage of the 8-star Douxian, coupled with the fact that he has a close relationship with Su Shuiying, naturally won Mo Zi's trust. Xiao Yan nodded, and immediately without hesitation, the fire technique was deployed, and the Fireguard Lord floated extremely concealed outside him. Where to go? Seeing this, Yan Ling snorted coldly, his speed skyrocketed, and he walked away with a chill towards Xiao Yan. Your opponent is me, except. At the same time, at the top of the mountain, at the location of the Mother's Hall, a battle slowly started. Going up the Jade Stairs, at the top, this is the place where the Guardians live with the highest level, and it is also a special area that is listed as a forbidden place by these Guardians. The whole here presents a huge square, surrounded by countless mists, like a fairyland on Earth. Generally, the ground of the square is filled with some strange Brahma stones. This kind of stone paves the ground of the whole square, but it is full of ancient and mysterious power. In the center of the square is a very strange black stone, hanging high in it, and around this meteorite, there is an extremely tyrannical ceiling formation, which completely seals its power. As for the black stone in the deep seal formation, there is only a rather elegant house. Hoo-hoo. Something that the Guardian guards. After a while, Xu Xiao stared at the black stone not far away, from above. Even with the isolation of the ceiling formation, he still smelled a terrifying aura that surpassed the sky and the earth. That kind of breath is by no means comparable to reincarnation. And this is his ultimate goal. In the ancient times, the Xiao clan could be the real giants of the Great Thousand World. As for why the atmosphere with the Guardian is so weird, it is unknown. However, the secrets contained in this black stone may be enough to affect the safety of the entire Great Thousand World. Whoa! Seemingly despised by that arrogant atmosphere, behind Xu Xiao, the two dark red coffins exuded bursts of suffocating horror trembling. Who dared to break into the holy land of our clan? Just when Xu Xiao looked like this, a voice came out. That voice was like the awakening of a giant dragon that had been sleeping for a long time. The majestic aura contained in it instantly enveloped the entire Peak Plaza, a tyrannical coercion that surpassed Xu Xiao countless times. Since the sky fell, Xu Xiao's body collapsed slightly, like an overlord standing in the sky examining mortals. What a terrifying breath. Xu Xiao saw this, but his gloomy eyes were staring at an elegant room not far away, and his face was shocked at first, and then ecstatic. From the perspective of this terrifying oppression, I am afraid that this guy is the top leader of the Guardian, and his purpose can be perfectly achieved. Once he steals what the Guardian is guarding, how can the Soul Clan of the Mere Soul Hall keep him, Xu Xiao? Moreover, Xu Xiao always felt that the Soul Clan and Soul Palace did not seem to be so simple. He always felt that they were instructed by others, and they were just puppets of some strong people. Boom! In front of Xu Xiao, an old man with a pale complexion and a stooped figure slowly walked out of the elegant house, but when the old man appeared, countless breaths quietly crawled down in the entire square. An indescribable silence swept out. Reincarnation. Looking at the old man in front of him, Xu Xiao's expression was extremely complicated. Even with the two coffins behind him as the last resort, he was still in a state of fear when facing these old men. Emerged from the bottom of my heart. This reincarnation is not another reincarnation. How can the lackeys of the Soul Palace come to us so leisurely today? You are not welcome here. Leave, I don't like killing, otherwise you will be destroyed today. The old man didn't lift his head, but with a pure white jade stick in his hand, he walked towards Xu Xiao step by step. With monstrous oppression swept out, that kind of power is enough to easily wipe out any 8-star fighting immortal. Please remember this book's first domain name. Tang San Chinese website mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 1964. Hey, the illustrious name of the guardians of the Shao clan is widely circulated in the Great Thousand Worlds. As soon as I see it now, it really lives up to its reputation. Facing the fear of coercion on the hunched old man in front of him, Xu Xiao's pressure increased greatly, and a very strange aura swept out in his voice. For a time, 2 dark red coffins buzzed behind him, and an extremely hot breath emanated from the invisible. The countless evil patterns on the coffins wriggled, and they were eerie. The power is stalemate. There are no guardians here, you are looking in the wrong place. Go back. Listening to Xu Xiao's words, the old man with a clean white jade stick in his hand, his long white hair fluttered, revealing a very haggard face, and his voice was full of warning. Under the haggard face, there were traces of wrinkles at the edges and corners, but on the face, the fragrance still remained. I am afraid that this old man was also a beautiful woman when she was young, but now with the increase of age, her appearance has become easier. Old. I came today mainly for it. If the senior can lend it to me, the junior will naturally be very grateful. Even helping you kill the Shao clan is not a bad idea. Xu Xiao looked at the black stone in the center of the square. There was a trace of blood in his body, and he slowly shook and said, "That kind of extremely evil power, like a real foreign evil race, that kind of power has clearly surpassed the scope of the Soul Palace. I am afraid that this guy is not only the Wengtang Hall master of the Soul Palace. It's really terrifying. Even the masters of your Soul Palace don't dare to be so presumptuous to me. But it seems that you are so fearless. I am afraid you brought some old buddies here." The old man slowly raised his head, and the white eyes that penetrated everything contained a deep meaning, which was a touch of absolute confidence, as if everything in the world is in control. In their own hands. Hey, the Hall Master and others are cautious, and it is difficult to become a great weapon. The Soul Palace can only rely on me. Only with my leadership can the Soul Palace become the first race in the Great Thousand World. Wang buzzing. At this time, countless bloodlines on the 2 dark red coffins wriggled, wrapping Xu Xiao tightly, and an evil aura that was above everything swept out. I'm afraid you don't have that ability. The old man snorted lightly, and immediately placed the jade staff in his hand slightly on the ground, and a tidal wave of white energy roared out of his body, facing Xu Xiao, surging away. The power of the surrounding space is actually shaking, and that power is actually mixed with the power of reincarnation. Bang bang bang. Strangely, when the attack of the old man fell on Xu Xiao's body, he suddenly scattered away. Peefed. Immediately, a rare gloom flashed from the corner of Xu Xiao's mouth, and the 2 dark red coffins behind him also shook slightly, and there was a vaguely terrifying creature about to appear. For a time, there was a glimmer of light in the eyes of the old man. It was obvious that what Xu Xiao was doing now touched her slightly. This kind of power was not even possessed by the Hall Master of the Soul Palace. possibly possess this power? Mother, are you all right? As the battle situation became stalemate for a while, two figures came one after another on the square. No problem. Seeing Su Shuiying's arrival, there was a rather tame soft light in her beautiful eyes, and she said with relief. Su Shuiying is among the top guardians in terms of talent and understanding, and she is one of the proud disciples after the careful teaching of the mistress. Watching this girl grow up day by day, the mistress is also quite gratified. One day, Su Shuiying will replace herself and prove the strength of their guardians to the descendants of the Shao family, and it will make them regret it. After all, when they were the guardians of the Shao clan, they devoted countless efforts to the Shao clan, but in the end, the Shao clan abandoned them ruthlessly. It hurts her heart. Sooner or later, they will make the Shao clan regret it. Are you all right? Xiao Yan's figure also came after him. Watching Su Shuiying supporting his mistress, he asked with concern for a while. However, with Xiao Yan's strength, he could vaguely sense that the power hidden in this seemingly aged old body is probably only a line weaker than the demon emperor of the demon world. Reincarnation. This is... Xiao Yan's figure just appeared, and the old man's eyes changed from relief to doubt. Even though Xiao Yan tried his best to suppress his breath, the familiar breath was still captured by this mistress. Mistress, he is my friend, no doubt, I can swear to God. Su Shuiying looked at this scene, slightly startled, but because the mistress was in front of her, she could only grit her teeth secretly, and raised her jade hand gently. The guardians' hatred and resentment towards the Shao clan were spread from among the few high-ranking guardians. The people of the Shao clan they described were stubborn and heinous by nature. At the beginning, they ruthlessly abandoned them, and even ruthlessly abandoned them. It was to attack some of the high-level guards today, and then the Shao family completely disappeared in the Douxian world. After a long time, the guardians were also besieged and hunted by countless powerhouses. As a last resort, they could only choose their bases in this kind of place. A poisonous swamp with harsh environment to avoid the pursuit of countless strong men. When I just came here, in order to open up this lazy space to survive, many of their guardians have fallen into the poisonous swamp. Therefore, the guardians' resentment towards the people of the Shao family is also passed down from generation to generation. The current situation, friend? When the mistress heard the words, her eyes were extremely surprised. She knew Su Shuiying's heart very well. Now she looks like she is lying, but Su Shuiying, who always considers herself to be high definition and not affected by the world, will actually excuse a man. This is probably enough to explain some problems. Shu Xiao, this time, I'll see where you're going. Xiao Yan tried his best to suppress the blood and aura of the Shao clan in his body, but he could only helplessly cast his eyes on the blood-colored evil pattern enchantment and cast some sorcery. Laughed. Today's power is enough to easily obliterate Shu Xiao in the early stage of 8-star Douxian, but what Xiao Yan cares about most is the resurrection immortality, magic technique similar to Lei Shi and the second elder of the Yan clan. That kind of power is definitely similar to this guy. An inescapable relationship, and the so-called resurrection magic in the world can only be controlled by the angel family. How did this guy do it? Come out, too. Meet your old friends well. Ha ha ha. Looking at the three people in front of him, Shu Xiao's face flashed with a spooky and crazy color. All the energy in his body was vented, and he kept staring at the two dark red coffins. At that time, the blood pattern on the coffin was awakened like the sleeping demonic energy, squirming rapidly, and scenes of asterisk evil clouds suddenly emerged from the sky, and the asterisk evil aura contained in them turned out to be numbing. The blood stopped flowing. Is that the power of faith? How can it be possible to control this kind of power in the early days of the 8 stars fighting immortals? Not good. Seeing Shu Xiao's actions like this, the jade staff on the palm of the mistress flew up, pierced through the void and shot directly at Shu Xiao, sweeping out the reincarnation power that destroyed the world. It's too late. Shu Xiao sneered. It seemed that at this moment, he had already won. Crack. With a sound, the blood coffins above the two coffins were opened at the same time, and the two overwhelming evil auras, like a flood of beasts, completely filled the entire square in an instant. The jade stick, which contains the power of reincarnation, is enough to destroy everything, but when it came to Shu Xiao, it stopped abruptly, and a huge red hand directly protected it, so that it could not move at all. The supreme elder of the Yan clan. Reincarnation level. Looking at the figure emerging from the coffin, the mistress's voice revealed extreme surprise. At this moment, the air above the entire square instantly solidified, and an extremely depressing aura filled the hearts of everyone. A world-class battle ignited at one point. Please remember this book's first domain name. Tang San Chinese website mobile version reading website.